Hey guys, Lisa from Hello Happy, and today let's do some first episode impressions of the new anime season. Whee! Summer 2025. This isn't going to be every first episode because there's going to be more first episodes that I'm going to watch over the next week. So this is like part one, I guess. Part two will be following. Here are the episodes I've watched so far. With You and the Rain, season 1. Kaiju number 8, season 2. Dandadan, season 2. Night of the Living Cat, which, yes, is a play on Night of the Living Dead. Solo Camping for 2. And The Water Magician. But first, here's a word from today's sponsors. Today's video is sponsored by me. Look at this incredible crochet pattern that you could make right now if you go to my website and get it. Isn't that lovely? So go to hellohappy.net today and get this pattern. Isn't it nice? All right, back to you, me. Okay, so we will just start at the top of the list. With You and the Rain. This is a show about a woman who finds an abandoned dog on the street in a box, takes it home, and takes care of it. The thing is, it's very clearly a tanuki, and it also can write, but it's quite clearly not a dog, so why does she think it's a dog? Is anyone that stupid? But also, where do I get my own adorable tanuki who just craves love? I'm very curious about what the show actually is, but the first episode did somewhat win me over. The personality of the tanuki is very cute. The way that it is actively trying to make everyone play along with the fact that it's a dog. It writes down on a piece of paper, "I'm a dog. I'm a dog." It's pretty funny. I feel like the shtick of her being so dumb, thinking that it's a dog, might get old, but it might be cute and funny enough for it to be tolerable. We'll see. So as of right now, it's very much up in the air whether I will watch the whole season. I might only watch 2 or 3 episodes and then say, it's fine, but it's not good enough for me. We'll see. Right, episode 1 of season 2 of Kaiju number 8. This was a very needed episode. I think there was no plot. It was just like a side story from before all of the final events from season 1 happened. It was basically like, you're not going to see any of these kids for a while because they've separated. So here's a reminder of like all of their personalities. So when they do get reunited, you'll be excited to see them because you'll remember who they are. And that was so needed because I only really remembered a couple of them from season 1. I needed that refresher on who these people all were as people. And it was really fun not to have like, boom, storyline. It was just like, here's a silly, fun adventure for episode 1, just to get you back into the swing of things. And then maybe it'll get real serious in episode 2. But however it plays out, I think it was a great first episode, and I'm really looking forward to this season. Next is Dandadan. I know Dandadan's really polarizing. I like Dandadan. I thought it was a very good first episode. It really dropped us right back in. It was exciting. It was stressful. It was fun. If you liked Dandadan season 1, you'll definitely like episode 1. If you didn't like Dandadan, don't watch it. Definitely don't watch it. Next up, Night of the Living Cat. This is a zombie show, but instead of zombies, people turn into cats when they get like touched on their skin by a cat. The cats seem happy though. I'm really confused about why anyone would fight this. This is literally like my 9-year-old self's dream come true. Like, are you kidding? I can shed humanity and become a cat? Why the hell would I choose to keep being a human? Are you kidding? My thoughts on the first episode was it was very loud. Like the characters were loud, and some parts were a bit slow, but I think they did the best that they could to try and make us understand very quickly the personalities of the main characters, the world before the pandemic, and then kind of the situation they're in now-ish. We have like no I I don't know what the show is. I don't know what its purpose is. I don't entirely understand what's driving the characters at this point, and I mean that's like they haven't given us enough information. I'm hoping episode 2 calms down a little bit and we get a little more information, but if it was like just based on episode 1, I wouldn't continue watching because it feels really pointless. But I feel like episode 2 is going to be the deal breaker, whether or not I keep watching or not. We'll see where this one goes. It might be a no, though, because I thought the concept was funny, but like, again, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, the cats look really happy. They're just chilling. What's the problem? Just become a cat. Solo camping for 2. We turned this off after 10 minutes because that was a big no. And I'm going to tell you why. There was a gratuitous underwear shot where you see her whole ass in her white underwear for literally no reason other than to make the boys happy. Also, her voice actress was like really annoying. She was giving the equivalent of Manic Pixie Dream Girl, Japanese version. This show exists only for the boys, okay? It's bad. Also, the man and the woman were both cardboard cutouts. They were just tropes. They weren't actually people, which was really bleh. So the scene where you see like her whole ass with her underwear is like she fell in a river and then she stumbled upon his campsite and her ass was wet from falling in the river. That's valid. And there's a fire and she's like, nobody's around. Let me just pull my pants down and put my ass in front of the fire. Like, I think that's valid, right? And it could have been funny. They could have just played it for laughs. Like, he stumbles upon her, and we only see his face. Like, we see the pose that she's in, but we don't see any of her body. Like, the scene would have been funny. It would have been exclusively played for laughs. But no, they just immediately turned her into a sexual object. And that was it. It was like, oh, this show is actually trash. Okay, next. So don't bother unless you want to watch for that reason. Just watch real porn, you loser. The first episode I watched was The Water Magician. We actually watched 2 because there were 2 available, and we wanted to watch the second episode. The Water Magician is an isekai, and the main character is a guy, so first thoughts are always going to be like, is this just pervy garbage where the guy gets to a super high level of magic and all the girls have giant boobs and it's just wish fulfillment? There's always that chance. But honestly, the rare time when I enjoy an isekai, I usually enjoy it so much. So I'm willing to give a lot of terrible shows a chance because every once in a blue fucking moon, they're really entertaining. Okay, so we gave it a shot and we didn't get much before the opening credits, but when I saw the opening credits, it gave me hope because they were cute. The opening credits were cute. They were not cool. They were not like epic fight scenes. It wasn't pervy. They were like no boobs anywhere. There weren't like panty shots. It wasn't like sexy or like manly. It was just cute. It's a bunch of cute scenes with like villagers and there's an elf girl and they're all just wearing like, cloaks and robes and stuff like that. And I was like, hold up. There's a chance this one might be okay. And it was. It was. Early on, they show this kid talking to like this angel type character. And the angel is like, what kind of life do you want to live in your new life? He's like, I want to live a slow life. Yes, King. Live a slow life. Hell yeah. He wants to live on like a farm or something. Yes. Another green flag. Another green flag went up for that. Okay. And then at the end of the episode, it was quite a surprise. A very large character. I don't want to give it away. Watch the episode, but that was a surprise. I expected the very large character at the end to be scary and horrible, and he was like a friendly uncle. That was fun. So then, yeah, episode 2 was available, so we jumped right in. I have to say, episode 1 was kind of like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like, so much potential, so much potential. But we were quite interested to see where it would go. It had a really fun dynamic with a new character they introduced who keeps saying, like, oh, this kid's probably poor. I shouldn't judge him. I'm judging him. At the end of episode 2, they still have not given us the elf girl. They're making us work for the elf girl. I think we'll finally meet her in episode 3. They're making us work because she looks so cute, and she's the whole ending credits is the elf girl. So, like, obviously she's the other main character, but like the way they're making us work to meet her, I love it. I think this is going to be a fun one. I don't think it's going to be like incredible, life-changing top 10 by any means, but like I think it'll be an enjoyable show. One thing that's interesting is they keep being really heavy-handed with this watercolor paper texture over the backgrounds to make it look like it was hand painted. I think the overlay is a little too harsh. They need to just like fade it, like drag that opacity bar and a little further to 0. But you know, I appreciate the effort. I think they know what we want. If we're watching a fantasy show, we want it to be hand drawn. It's not going to be hand drawn, but we want it to be like back in the old days. And they're trying to give us what they want. And you know what? I appreciate that. So I do think you should give The Water Magician a shot. It's full of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So like I said, that was like part 1 of first episode impressions. I will do a part 2 when I am ready. I hope I get to watch at least like 4 or 5 shows this season that I really like, because the last couple seasons have not been great for me. So let me know what first episodes you watched and which ones you liked and which ones you were like, no. Okay, bye.